Hi everyone, hope everyone's doing great today. This is our fourth video on our sit on the couch crafts to make and sell. Why not? It's January. Why not make some crafts and make some money? So let's get started. So for our first video, we did these fabric and lace clusters. Right? We showed you how to use them in journals, how to use them on little envelopes that you're making. Okay, so that was in our first video. Our second video, we made fabric loop flowers. That was video number 1. And this is just your standard twine loop flower. Gave you an idea to make a whole bunch of these and put them on a garland. You could make a rustic garland with them, right? What a great idea that is. Our third video, we made yo-yo flowers, and we showed you some ideas for them to put on journal covers. You can add any one of these flowers, even the clusters, to a gift, right? We showed you how you can use them as place settings at a shower. You can add a little tag to them, right? Before you put the button on, you could put a little tag on there, put the person's name or event. So these are really great as favors. Okay, that was number 3. So for today, number 4, we are going to be making these ruffle flowers. And again, these are great for favors, just about anything. This is flat enough to add into a journal because this is just a sheer fabric. So this is actually pretty flat. These are quite thick, so you can add them to your cover, or you can make them for favors. Again, add them to a gift, right? So this is what we are going to be making today. And they're super cute if you use denim too. These you can also add, these types of flowers are very cute if you wanted to add to a purse, right? Clothing. The little denim ones are perfect for that. Accent a little pair of jeans or a little book bag for a young lady, right? Or you can make them as hair barrettes, right? Add a little hair barrette to the bottom. You can also make them add a pin, and you can use these for corsages, right? How cute is that? So these are great ideas. People love these. We've had a lot of success with these. Actually, all of these we've had a lot of success, but the ruffle flowers just seem to be the most popular because of the versatility in just so many different projects or crafts. Okay, so today for these, these are one of the flowers that actually need a base because you're going to be starting, you need something to start with. The rest of these flowers, you don't need a base because for these flowers, we used our loop hoop. So, and again, we got, let me see if I could find it. I used our loop hoop. This was the one I had to break down and actually buy something because I had made one and it broke. So this is what we use for our loop flowers. So you don't really need a base. I mean, you can make them with a base. So, okay, so now we're off to our ruffle flower. So this will be video 4 of our sit on the couch and craft. So for these, I actually just have little felt circles. And these are approximately, let's see, a little less than 1.5 inches wide. And the flowers, you can make whatever size you want. It depends on how many, rows you did. It also depends on the type of fabric. If you were using a thicker fabric like the denim, you really only need, one, row of it because they are quite thick. And then to show you, I made this felt one, which is quite tall. We did 3 loops. So you can make them, this one's more flat. The denim is flat, but we only did, you know, 1 row, and this one we did 3. So your fabric is your fabric and how many times you loop around is up to you, you know. All right, so we have our felt circle. You can also use cardboard. You can always use cardstock. So it doesn't really matter because for these, we didn't cover them up just to show you. But typically what we would do is most of our flowers, we put lace on the bottom. So you're not really seeing, you know, the bottom of the flower because we've just put lace on them. You can use any kind of lace. So for these, just to show you, we took our crochet knit tablecloth that we had and we just cut a bunch of circles out. And we cut them big on purpose because some of the flowers, like this one, is larger than this one. These are our rosettes. So it depends on how big your flower is, but we cut them large on purpose. But you can use basically anything for the bottom of your flowers. Okay, so we have our 1.5 inch felt circle, and we have our fabric that we are going to use. I just basically cut a super long piece of this taupe cotton, and it's not even cut evenly. It doesn't even matter. Well, this part isn't, but this part was cut on the end. So let's get started here. And we're not going to really go crazy. I'll make a couple of these in a couple of different fabrics here. So you are going to need your hot glue gun, your fabric, and your loop. We have some pearls and some buttons already out. So this is a perfect sit on the couch craft. If you're sitting on the couch, you could put your pearls and your beads in a little whatever container, bring them down to the couch with you, put your fabric in a little box or something, and you're just gonna sit. Okay, so for this one, let's get started. Let's see here. All right, am I gonna use this one? I cut different strands out to show you guys. So let's see here. Should I use this white one? I don't know. Actually, I'm just going to stick to the brown. Okay, so yeah, picking out your fabric. I have a whole bunch here, but okay, so picking out your fabric isn't really the biggest deal here. So have your glue gun handy, have your fabric ready. So we have our circle here. We're just going to put a little, these are little tiny dabs of glue here. Okay, and then we're just going to, the width of the fabric is typically about 1 inch wide. So, but again, you could make them whatever because these are your flowers. So we're going to stick our first piece here. You're going to stick it right down. And then we're going to take our next piece and we're just going to fold it, right? We just folded it over. And typically what I usually do is I'll do 3 folds. And if you, the more folds you use, the more, like for this one, I use a lot of folds. So for this denim one, I used very few folds, as you can see. I don't know how this turned out. It was sitting in a basket, so. Okay, so I usually do 3 folds. Right? So we have our 3 folds. I'm going to flip the back here behind it and just give like run a little glue along the top of the felt here. So just right along the top here and then press it down, right? Okay, and then we're just going to keep doing that. We're going to fold 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to glue the back, because if you don't glue the back, these unravel, and it gets it gets quite unruly. Okay, so we've done 6 folds. We're going to do 1. We're going to do some more. And as you're rounding the bend, you'll notice that you are going to be folding a little bit inward, a little bit like that, to keep it, just to keep the roundness and consistency. But this is going to take a couple of times to get it. But once you do, you could just make so many of these because these are so easy, very easy. So we did 3. And again, we're going to go around the back here. Just add a little glue right along the back, and then we're just going to press it. So see, our flower is coming along real nice. So we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. So now we've met up with our first piece that we started with. So now with a little glue right along here, and then we're going to press it down, right? So we've met up again with our first piece. Okay, so now your thumb is in the center here, your tail is out, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to add a little glue here, right in the center, just to kind of keep everything together. Because we've glued behind everything, now we just needed to glue in the center just to keep it down. Okay, so we're going to go for our second row now. Okay, so for our second row, we're going to fold in again like we did. And now what we're going to do is we're going to fold a little bit underneath the second row to kind of give like a tiered type flower. Okay, and then we're going to go around again. And then we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're just going to glue behind it a little bit, right? And then we're going to press down right there. You can tell my nails are working with hot glue because hot glue gets on your nail polish and you try to pull it off and there goes your polish. So we're trying to create like a little bit. So we're doing a little bit underneath, leaving the top part sticking out. So we're creating like a little bit of a wheel here, a ruffled wheel. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go around and around. We're going to glue behind it. Again, this is just the way I do it. I mean, I know other people do things a little differently, but this just seems to work for me. We're going to roll, and then we're going to roll again here. Okay, so, and then we're just put some glue in the back here, right? Okay, so now we are getting to the start of our next layer, of our second layer that we started. So we're going to glue, this is important, we're going to glue all along here, all along on the inside, right? So this is our second tier that we've created. It's hard to see, I know my fingers are in the way, but so now what we want to do is we want to cut here, leaving about 1/2 inch here. Okay, so we have this little piece here, right? See this extra little piece? You want to fold it under, right? And then stick a little glue right underneath there. Okay, see? And we're still keeping our thumb in the center because we're still going to have to glue down the center. Even though we're going to be adding buttons, we need to glue down in the center here. Okay, so very carefully, but without letting everything unravel, we're going to hold our flower down and just glue a little bit in the center here. Okay. This ensures that your flower, now pressing it down, it gives it a little depth. You can see how it's going inward now a little bit, see? Okay, so now we are ready for our buttons and our pearls. I know I keep saying beads, but you guys know what I mean. When you're making jewelry, you're so used to using beads, and then when you do the video where you're using pearls, you kind of forget sometimes. Okay, so let's grab our goodies. This is the fun part. So we're going to pick out a button and a couple of little pearls here, and then we'll use them as our little accents. You can sew these buttons on. You can sew them, but the problem is we've glued the center, and trying to get a needle, sewing needle, through the button is hard. But if you are sewing these, you can have the option, instead of gluing, you can sew these as you go along. So you would stitch in between each little ruffle. But that just seems to be a little too much work for something that, you know, you're just going to be making on the couch. And, you know, you want to be able to just grab your buttons and your pearls and then go. So for video time's sake, we'll just do it like this for now. Okay, so we've added our button, right? Just add a little dab of glue because we're going to put a couple of pearls in here. Okay, so, whoops. All right, so we're going to add just a couple of little pearls here. This one's going to fall off, so add a little more glue. All right, so there we are. We've made our ruffle flower. I was going to make another one, but I think that you guys would be good because these aren't so bad. These aren't so bad to make. These are really, really fun. And again, they're very versatile. The only fabric flower in this series of the 6 flowers to make are going to be these guys. These guys are going to be your nemesis. But you can see how gorgeous they are. And the learning to make these are going to be worth it. So, all right, so that is our ruffle flower. That is part 4 of Sit on the Couch and Crafts to Make and Sell. So I hope that actually helps you guys. Again, use these for just about anything. And I will be talking to you guys real soon because we have 2 more flower videos in this series. And then we have some other really great goodies to make too as far as our series. But we are doing the flowers as one series. So this way you guys are learning how to make the flowers and the clusters first. And then we will move on to more journaling items. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe because that does help us out a lot. We are new to YouTube. We are not new. We are in our 15th year of business here at Vintage Style by Jo. And we are on Instagram and Pinterest and vintagestylebyjo.com. We're on Etsy. We're on eBay and Amazon. So there's plenty of ways to find us. So again, I will be talking to you guys real soon. Thank you so much.